of what the enzymes are actually doing. And so the enzymes, let me just bring us back here. So the enzymes are the plant-based enzymes, and they're the key enzymes to digest the nutrients that are in dog and cat food. So the protease helps to digest the protein, amylase starches, such as if you have a food with sweet potatoes or some other kind of a starchy ingredient in it, cellulase, the plant matter, fibers, plants, and the lipase, the fat, so that the animals can use the omega-3 fatty acids that are in the foods. In contrast to animal-derived enzymes, the plant enzymes work all throughout the system. So they work from as soon as you take it into the mouth all the way through to the tail. They work at a very broad pH range. Animal-derived enzymes only work in a very narrow area of the body, of the digestive system. And sometimes because the animal-based enzymes are derived from typically the pancreas of a pig is how they're extracted. Some animals will show some digestive or some allergic reaction because of that. So it does have some animal matter with us. With plant-based enzymes, what we're doing is it's a fermentation process. So we've trained microscopic plants to overproduce these enzymes, and then they're cleaned and purified and added into the Optigest. Optigest only contains those two groups of ingredients, the 4 digestive enzymes and the prebiotic FOS. It doesn't contain any fillers at all. And that's important because we don't want to have fillers that might, we don't want to have fillers that might upset the digestive system, such as rice hulls or milk sugar or any grains at all in the product, because animals that are experiencing digestive upset, you want to make it just as clean as possible. It only has what they absolutely need in the product and nothing else that they could possibly have a reaction to. Optigest is the most concentrated product because it does only have the active ingredients. So we were able to develop a proprietary process where we could blend both the prebiotic with the digestive enzymes to make sure that it flowed and that it was an easy product to give. We found that we didn't have to add even any flavor into the product because it is naturally sweet. The FOS tastes naturally sweet. It's completely safe to give to diabetic animals because the FOS cannot be broken down in the digestive system. It has to go all the way through to the large intestine where it's used by the bacteria. So because of that, it's very safe to use, but it does taste naturally sweet, which animals really like. It appeals to them. So it's often surprising to see how cost-effective Optigest is. I have a 60-pound dog, and so I just ran the numbers for Floyd. So at retail, our suggested retail, the cost for giving a 60-pound dog Optigest for an entire year is $105 and $36 a year for a cat. So very, very cost-effective, a very good value. If you compare that with an average vet visit, you'll find that we did a survey of some of our local vets, and what they gave us was that it was about $175 for an average vet visit for a digestive upset, an issue of digestive upset. So this is a case where prevention is a much better way to go than having to pay for a vet visit for a lot of reasons. The other area that we have addressed is the area of dental health. And dental health is a huge area, and a very popular product of ours are the Grin Daily treats. And this is just a really nice functional treat for dental health. Oftentimes with things that are called dental treats, you need to be really vigilant about your label reading, because oftentimes one of the ingredients is sugar, and sugar can be anything that ends in OSE. So it can be glucose, fructose, corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup. With our Grin Daily treats, there's no sugar. There's no corn, there's no soy, no wheat. So it's a nice healthy treat as well for animals who have sensitive systems, for dogs with sensitive systems. Oftentimes, too, with dental treats, you'll find that it's just a hard treat, and so the abrasive action is what you're counting on to flake off the tartar. Well, we know that it's really hard once tartar develops to flake it off. It takes usually a tool to do that. And so what we've done is a totally different approach. And what we decided to do is to research what causes the problem, and then let's see if we can get rid of what causes the problem so that it doesn't develop into tartar and bad breath and a dental problem. So what we did is we added 3 different means of action. So the first is we looked at providing fresh breath, and so the chlorophyll and the anise in the product provide that fresh breath that we're looking for. Anise was an interesting find because that's dog nip, and so it provided a flavor enhancer for us that the dogs really, really like, and we didn't have to do something like add a stinky chicken liver or something else that would take away from the fresh breath side of the product. The next thing that we did is we looked at how to control the tartar. So we've added green tea, and green tea is an antibacterial agent. Bacteria in the mouth are what cause plaque, and plaque is what turns into tartar. So it takes about 3 days for the plaque in the mouth to harden and turn into calculus or tartar. What we're doing is providing with daily use an antibacterial agent so that you don't have that transition from plaque to tartar. And then the last thing that we did is we added the prebiotic, again the FOS, to the Grin treats because fresh breath stems from healthy digestion. So if you have a lot of bad bacteria in the digestive system that are producing toxins, it's a very smelly process. So they're producing what really smells. And that's why oftentimes what you'll notice with the prebiotic and with Optigest is that the body odor, I'd mentioned the body odor improves. Also stool odor will improve. Overall, the animal will smell better if they have a healthy digestive tract. So we added the prebiotic to it. Like I said, we didn't add anything that would cause upset for the dogs that have allergic reactions, and made it just a nice, easy, healthy choice to use. It's nice to know that all of InClover's products have been tested. They have the active ingredients in the amount to show results in one container. But I want to just read to you just a couple of short stories that we received from a couple of our retailers to give you an idea of how you can become a better community customer loyalty with products like InClover's products that are going to show results. So this first one is about a mangy little wiener dog. It says, a woman came into my store worried about her young mini dachshund who had obtained mange. The vet had the dog on massive amounts of antibiotics. The depletion of the immune system was continuing even though all the chemicals, had a harsh chemical dips as well, so the antibiotics and the chemicals stopped. She suggested that the lady purchase Optigest to help build the good bacteria back into the digestive tract that was destroyed every time the antibiotics were taken. The woman was very appreciative of her efforts and information. She's visited frequently and is keeping her posted. This is another example of a lifetime customer relationship. So a way that she was able to help, the antibiotics got rid of the mange but created a whole set of other problems. And so the store manager was able to help with those other the other problems that they saw. And this last example is about an English bulldog with digestive upset. And this is a good example because English bulldog or any kind of short-nosed dog typically has a problem with digestive upset just genetically. We see that often, that there's a genetic predisposition both in joint health and digestive health. So it says, a few months ago I was over at a friend's house. She has 2 dogs, an English bulldog, Semper Fi, and Semper Fido, and Mabel, a bulldog pug mix. As anyone with a bulldog can tell you, they're known for gas. Nose, hair curling, room clearing, vomit-inducing gas, and Semper was no exception. Sometimes it was so bad that we'd have to leave the room, he'd have to leave the room with the rest of us. She'd been working with a team at our store to find a food to help reduce his emissions, but had had no luck so far. That's when I told her about prebiotics and probiotics. She was hesitant to try, in quotation marks, all that new age hippie crap. The next weekend, I showed up at her door with a few sample sizes of Optigest. I told her, and those are the sticks, so the Optigest sticks is what she showed her and offered her for use. I told her to try it out that night and give me a call in the morning. The next day, my phone rings before I have a chance to think about it. She tells me it was the first night since they brought 4-year-old Simper home that she did not have to kick him out due to gas. She went out the very next day, bought the huge bottle of Optigest, and has been treating Simper and Mabel with it ever since. Hooray for new age hippie crap, helping the family sleep and digest better. So those are 2 examples of how customers can see the results and then have that loyalty back to the stores. So that ends the webinar portion, my portion of it, giving information. And now what I'd like to do is open this up to questions.